lessons involved, contracts. Welcome back, Pisces, to your singles reading. Okay, so those of you that are new to Pisces TV, okay, let's see. I've been sitting here looking at these cards. I shuffled out the icebreaker, right? What we be talking about, and this is like so interesting. If you follow the channel, I don't think we've quite had it like this before, so it's kind of cool. All right, check the description box. There's a lot of information there. For those of you that are new to the channel, how to reach me, contact me, follow me online at iBuns through Instagram and Twitter. If you want to participate in our contest this month, so that we can get you a free reading, go to the community board and check that out. There's a lot of information there, a lot of coupon codes, my products up close and personal. Check the Etsy store as it's being updated. We have the merchandise here on YouTube. Check that out. The members section, if you're interested in the extended, and those of you that aren't members, we're extending the extendeds to you. If you're interested in getting a one-time, it includes yesterday and today for all 6 of the extended videos. Check that out on the community board. And those of you interested in joining memberships, we have several options available. The link to Patreon is in the description box. And I hope to see you guys on the other side, as this is where the extended will be located. But we will go ahead and get started with your reading. I'm also going to pull an oracle card before we get to the Celtic spread. The clarifiers, details, sidebar conversation, and pick a card will be in the extended. I kind of like it. So let me start here with how cute this is. It's the 6 of Swords. With the 6 of Swords, moving away from chaos, being guided, has something to do with relationships. So dope for my singles, and for some of you that may possibly be in relationships, or it involves like your relationship sector. Cool. Moving away from chaos, being guided through the water. Your emotions could talk about communicating feelings, coming out of the past. Okay, for some of you, I think there's like a person where it didn't quite work out. Maybe they didn't respond to your messages, or there was an issue with communication, or they just thought they were too good. Honestly, for some of you, the new person coming in, I feel like communicates a lot and may be open about their, emotions or feelings. Maybe very romantic, or a lot of romantic messages being sent to you. I feel with a lot of passion. Okay, so the Ace of Wands talks about travel and distance. I don't know if these people are at a distance from you, but the first card that came out was the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands does represent new love and passion, motivation and movement. Also optimism, potential, and fated situations. So that's kind of cool. I think there's a happy ending. For some of you, it's kind of like waiting, right? The High Priestess with the 10 of Swords is like something that's not being said. I don't know if you're waiting on something that's not being said, or like I said, some of you guys may be coming out of an energy of dealing with, individuals that don't respond as you do. That could have been a thing. We'll see, okay? Now, I saw the World card, which is 21. I think Judgment is 20. So when I look at these two 10s, it's something about your discernment and how you see something, where it's either a new beginning or an ending, or something about, a completion of cycles. But here it's like what I said, something coming toward you, I feel swiftly, with a communication of emotions, romance, or possibly a new love. So what we're going to do is take an oracle card, okay, as the Ace of Wands was the strongest. And then I didn't quite, like I said, this energy of the High Priestess and the 10 of Swords could be a lot of information coming toward you, things hitting you at once, things hitting your person at once to, stimulate these messages or the communication. We have the Hierophant, and then I saw confusion. So those of you where this person may not have responded, or if you were dealing with like, a soulmate or past life relationship, somebody's still kind of confused about the partnership, and there may not be any communicating. I do feel like they're still watching you, but feeling trapped in their situation if they haven't moved toward you. And didn't I say Judgment would come up, where it could represent, like I said, something from the past coming back for some of you guys, that sudden shock. Look at that, those soulmates. Divine Masculine may be holding up, but I feel like it may be the the Empress, the Queen of Cups, the Divine Feminine, I feel like that's maybe who waited or who may have been further along in understanding what this partnership is, and that's okay. So let's take an oracle card to get started. And I'm still using my archetype cards. I'm going to be refreshing the cards as these were put up for some time, so they deserve the play that, we've been giving them. Okay, so I have the Medallion. That's kind of like the Ace of Pentacles to me, with this underworld and the mirror. So like I said, a reflection. Maybe you guys are kind of mirroring each other, or some situations may appear to be mirroring each other. I've had personal circumstances like that. And when we've discussed it on the community board, it was crazy that a lot of us experience so much. So this still talks about something new, all right? Love affairs that are rooted in the material or financial, so that may have something come up. A new grounded love affair, and like the Ace of Wands does talk about destiny as well. So I just put the Ace of Pentacles on this card. As it is an oracle card and may be very general, it talks about 1 year or probably sooner. It also represents all earth signs, or just like I said, something very grounded and stable when it talks about your love. It can be a sexual card that tells you about the possibility of a grounded romance, and added with the Ace of Wands, it kind of complements that energy. This is also a yes. So some of you guys may be saying yes to something. A lover, an interest, or a partner really wants to be physical with you, which has been coming up a lot. You both are hardworking or even like luxury items, and want your partner to have similar taste and style or socioeconomic status. So this could also, give or take, what we've talked about in the daily vibe, the Queen of Swords having these high standards and maybe some unexpected feelings. Maybe if finances are involved and it's like, I want this, that, and the other, but then you get approached by another situation, like how do you grade it? How do you level it? Like what do they have to offer you? Or, what are your standards? What do you want to be offered? So when we go into the Medallion, I'm reading from the guidebook for you all. And it talks about the talisman, the amulet, the heirloom, okay? Upholding tradition, protecting and honoring. When in dark, it talks about burdensome, inheritance, or habituation. So something that, like I said, may have repeated itself. Something maybe about the past, behaviors, situations, whatever. I'm getting even the Six of Pentacles energy where it did come up as a challenge, or what's like to be put up on the table. Do you believe that objects contain supernatural properties? When you have, you experience this to be true. And I was just talking to my friend about a tattoo. Tattoos could also represent, I don't want to say objects, but talismans. Others of you, this talks about family and tradition. If I think about the Pentacles and a love reading, I'm thinking about the ideal couple, okay? But it also says to be aware of the objects you hold dear, maybe embedded within subconscious energy or expectations. Materials hold consciousness, and it's time to reconcile the vibration of the objects around you. What do you combat and collect, and why? Is there an object you have held on to for years that you are ready to release? Perhaps it's time to reach for the medallion that aligns to your deepest values. So are we talking about marriage here? Are we talking about commitment here? Maybe, right? So let's go ahead and get started with the reading. I use the Fountain Tarot, I think, for the daily vibe. So let's go with the counterpart to the archetype oracles, the wild unknown. So look at that. Divine timing. Are the stars aligning? Are you reflecting, as I saw the mirror, spending some time thinking about your investments? Maybe are you willing to invest in a situation? Is someone willing to invest in you? Possibly. And here's that divine masculine we were talking about, possibly wanting. Why did I think of the World card? What is this about? Completion and cycle, stability, security, protection. The Lady Luck with her Two of Wands. Does someone see the world as their oyster? Do you feel that someone is the one, or is someone looking at you as the one? Have you manifested this? Maybe. But we're talking about that divine masculine energy or stability. That's crazy how the pentacles are coming up in your love reading, Pisces, that's not bad. For all of you that are looking for, like, I don't know, the power couple, you know, someone who's very ambitious. Maybe it's the energy of the person. When I think of the Emperor, this is someone who kind of stands above all other kings, right? Or just someone who maybe stability, security, and all that kind of stuff is what they provide. I don't know. I like the number 3 too. 3 is awesome. I'm sorry, 4. Okay, I like 3s and 4s. Maybe the Empress is going to come up, but it talks about order. I don't know if some of you guys are into arrangements or arranged marriages or fate and destiny, but order talks about that. And then the Emperor as a lover could be, you know, someone who, I don't want to say is controlling, but likes to control things, likes to take care of things. Nothing's wrong with that. You may meet an older person, okay, who's very helpful to you. As we talked about investments or investors, it is possible to grow to love this person. They may remind you, didn't I say that? They may remind you of someone else, or like the situation is just so 6 of Cuppy, right? The Emperor doesn't speak of underlining love or passion. Hopefully he shows it, and usually wants an Empress type of female. So someone who may dress up or is feminine in another aspect. Maybe she loves to have a garden or to cook, and since he loves to eat and loves to walk around, you know, the garden, that'll be kind of cute. May need a very feminine woman in his life because of his extreme masculine energy. So maybe balancing out that feminine and masculine energy here. Now, in a relationship, the Emperor usually needs to be the boss of the situation. Okay, I don't know how well that works with, you know, my strong seekers and watchers here, or cross watchers probably are nodding their head in agreement. The Emperor will want to take control, and you may even have to be subjugated to them. Okay, a little bit submissive. He's very male oriented and has principles such as like females being submissive to males and all of that. So just be mindful. Always thinks that they know what they're doing, even when they don't. But that, you know, I don't mean to be sexist, but I think that sounds like, I was gonna say all men, but maybe just all dominant kind of people. Usually doesn't let people into their emotional side, and when they do, you know, it's really deep. Can be extremely aggressive, so be mindful of that. May send flowers, or like follow you back online. That's kind of cool, probably just to watch you. So this isn't a too private of a person that says, you know, I'm not into, some people say they're really private and will post everything else. I'm talking about kids are private, parents are private, birthdays, you know, celebrations, all the stuff that's supposed to be private, they post that, but then say they like their lives, their love lives private. I don't think the Emperor is that way. Is the type that will call you multiple times a day. So like I said, somebody in the past doesn't really communicate, or maybe in the past you guys weren't talking or, you know, communicating, but this brings something different or a new shift, okay? It's just a controlling aspect about the Emperor in relationships. So be mindful of that, and like the controlling element, okay? If you're asking like how someone feels about you in the current situation, you can read it 2 different ways depending on how the Emperor is feeling. So first, may not be feeling anything, may be being rational about everything and doesn't have romantic feelings toward you. So that's not a bad thing necessarily. If you say, well, how does somebody not feeling romantic toward me not be a bad thing? Okay, let me talk about myself. Some people have come to me with, you know, flirting with emotions, with feelings and stuff like that. And it's not that I don't care about them, that I'm not open to it. It's just like at the moment, given whatever relationship we had in the past or however I feel that day, I'm not just automatically at the drawing board with romance. Sometimes you have to be practical and talk about your goals, this person's goals, being logical. So it's not just about, ooh, you know, let's be romantic. You could have children, they could have children, you could have goals, they could have goals. And sometimes some things kind of like overweigh feelings right off top. Secondly, this person needs to control the situation, like I said, or feel like they may have all the power in the situation. Now, what I love about Pisces is that when people sleep on us like that or feel they can control us, we usually get the upper hand. I do like, you know, to play with the whole dominant submissive thing. And I know a lot of Pisces, Scorpios, and water signs that do it too, where it's funny in marriages, or even thinking about some of the older couples in my family, where one person thinks that they're in control because the other person lets them think that. And then in essence, we all know that the mom or the more submissive partner really do run it, but they get along because it's like, I'll let you think that. But there's a respect. So keep that in mind, that I feel that there's still this mutual respect. And it's so cute. I'll let you play like, you running it, but whatever. Now, here we have, like I said, the feminine in this energy, which could have been the Queen of Cups, like I said, that waited on something to happen and maybe found interest elsewhere in her life, like trying to take care of the kids, trying to take care of home, trying to take care of the business, releasing things from the past and being very grounded. Others of you, because she's looking straight at me and not at the Emperor, there talks about like a focus. What is your focus? And some of you, it's like, my focus is on stability and security. Can you provide that? Because I can do everything else for myself. I don't need to be taken care of. And that's kind of cool. Now, I do feel that, being standoffish or too dominant in a situation could cost you. And others of you would be like, well, so if they can't handle me, so be it. But the lesson in this is preservation. It's in patience, it's in going the distance, and it is in this commitment. So what's most important to you, Pisces, we ask. And if this is where we leave off, definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in as we jump into the extended, right back at the Ace of Wands. So we're going to talk about this, and I feel like there's a very passionate story to tell here. Until next time, namaste.